off the press. Victoria Beckham Beauty by the one and only Victoria Beckham is here, and I am here to review the entire line. Yes, I just went to one of her events here in New York City, and I was fortunate enough to get my hands on everything. Do we need another makeup line by another celebrity? That is the question that I think we all keep on asking ourselves. In today's video, I'm gonna be reviewing this new line by Victoria Beckham. I'm gonna be dissecting it, doing a look, some swatches, and of course, the verdict. And if you are new to my channel, then hi. Welcome, I'm Maryam, and this is what I do. I review products, beauty stuff, tutorials, you name it, Team Truth style. Remember to subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions at all, hit that notification bell, and let's do this. Victoria Beckham Beauty, here we come, Team Truth. Okay, digging right in, we have a number of products here. 4 eyeshadow palettes at $54 each. These are called the eye bricks. Packaging is super heavy duty. I believe this is all brass. At least that's what I was told by one of the PR people. So no plastic has been used for the packaging of any of Victoria Beckham Beauty's products. We need to make an acronym. Victoria Beckham Beauty is just a little too long. VBB is what I'm gonna be referring to it. Hopefully it catches. This smoky eye brick comes in 4 colors. Tweed that I just showed you, Royal, Tuxedo, and Signature. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but there are 2 different colors here, a taupe and like a pinky beige. These compacts are actually smaller in size than a business card. Who uses those anyway? But there's a lot of product in it. But still, $54? I mean, is this gonna make me posh? Is this gonna make me pop it? What is it gonna do for me for $54? We also have 3 eye pencils, aka Satin Kajal'S, at $26 each. This is what the pencil looks like. It's a pencil and a smudger on the other side. Let's watch these while we're at it. Ooh, super creamy. Very reminiscent of Victoria's collab with Estee Lauder from a couple of years ago. More on that in a second. Pencils are actually amazing quality. They glide on so smoothly, just as smoothly as her collab pencils with Lauder. We also have lips. The lip products actually just launched, which is why I went to the event. The new products include a Bitten lip tint for $34. Supposed to be a universal wine sort of shade. Off the bat, it's not a really flattering swatch. I only have 3 pencils, but there are actually 6 pencils, numbered 1 through 6 for the lip swatches. And last but not least, we have some lid luster single shadows. The lid lusters come in 4 shades, $36 each. You recognize these. These are one of those pressed type of shadows in which you have to keep the lid on, otherwise it'll crumble all over. Here comes blonde, very, very shimmery, like a white gold. We also have mink. Ooh. That's beautiful. Wow. Here we have midnight. Wow. Okay, posh. And last but not least, we have onyx. Well. I'm gonna clean up my hand and swatch the eyeshadow palettes. And while I'm swatching them, let's talk about this line, Victoria Beckham Beauty. Now, as I mentioned before, and as you may already know, this isn't the first time that Posh Spice, aka Victoria Beckham, is dabbing into makeup. She did a collab with Estee Lauder, 2 collabs, matter of fact. And the person who was heading that collab is someone named Sarah Creel. Now, you may not know who she is, but I know who she is, and she is absolutely fantastic. For years, Sarah Creel had worked at Estee Lauder as the head of their product development, also makeup and marketing. I've worked with her closely and I know her personally. She is super knowledgeable about products, about makeup, which is why there are so many Estee Lauder products that you love. Thanks, Sarah Creel. Fast forward to today, Sarah Creel and Victoria Beckham have collabed to create Victoria Beckham Beauty. Now, Victoria Beckham may be the founder, but Sarah Creel is officially the co-founder and the CEO of Victoria Beckham Beauty, VBB. Needless to say, I have extremely high hopes for this collection because Sarah really knows what she's doing, and obviously so does Victoria. And now let's get to these swatches. I really like the way that the blue palette named Royal swatched. The colors were bright and vibrant. They look just like the colors in the palette. I also like the palette Tweed, which is the reddish one. That one swatched good as well. Not as great as Royal, but still good. Now the other 2, Signature and Tuxedo, they were a bit on the dry side. There was maybe like one or two shadows that did swatch well, but for the most part, it was really hard for me to get any color payoff. That's not to say that these colors won't show up well on top of primer when I'm actually doing my makeup on my lids, but the swatches were not performing. That eyeshadow all over my shirt. All right, enough chatter. I am gonna start applying my primers so that we can test these babies on our lids. Applying my Fenty primer per usual because this is a good one and I really like it. This is also a reason why I don't conduct wear tests on eyeshadows, because if I prime my lids with a primer that is compatible with my skin type, then my eyeshadows don't budge at all. It doesn't matter what brand it is. It doesn't matter how much of it I apply. If I use a primer that works for me, like this Fenty Beauty one, then my eyeshadows stay intact until the moment that I remove them at night. So there's really no point for me to do any wear tests because I've never really seen it shift. All right, so for today's look, I really like this blue one, and I feel like it's different from all the autumn Halloween looks and all the sweater weather vibes that you've been seeing on YouTube. But I'm also really gravitating towards this color just because it's so cozy. Maybe we'll do a bit of everything. I'm gonna start off with this palette called Signature with this shade here, kind of a taupey sort of shade. Just gonna lightly dust this along my eye socket area, well above the crease, defining the lower portion of my brow bone. This is a very light transition shade, something that would probably work much better on a lighter skin tone than mine. Let's dabble into something a little bit darker. I'm gonna pick up Tweed and dip into this shade here. Same brush. Ooh, this is a really nice, beautiful sandy shade. I love that it's still on the taupey side, but it's got a bit of that signature Lauder bronze goddess feel. This is definitely reminding me of one of the shadows from Victoria's original collection with Lauder. Let's see if I can pull it up. Ah yes, this one here. Although this one is a metallic, it's kind of a similar vibe. It's also kind of reminding me of her bronzer shades. So I guess this tells you that Victoria Beckham definitely has her point of view when it comes to makeup. Her colors are definitely signature to her taste, and it is something that she's always gravitating towards. I learned at the event that she is not a fan of really graphic lines. She wants everything to be kind of smudgy and slept in and kind of messy, but that's what makes her so chic. I'm really not doing the kind of job that I normally would with my makeup. In fact, I'm utilizing more of a smudging out blending technique rather than an actual buffing out. Okay, I see where we're going. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna dip into this black shade here from the Tuxedo. Ooh, that is pretty pigmented. I'm gonna start stabbing this outer portion of the eye socket groove with this black shadow, and then also connecting it to my outer corner. So like a rounded V. I gotta say, I do like this black. Although it didn't swatch well, like I've said in so many videos, and I'll say it again, it doesn't matter how an eyeshadow swatches. It matters how it applies and how it blends with the other products that you use. In this instance, you can really see this eyeshadow is performing. There's really no fallout here. So I'm gonna take my previous brush and just blend out the edges. Gonna take a smaller brush. I'm gonna dip into this gray shadow from the Tuxedo Quad. I'm gonna start adding that to the inner portion of my crease, connecting with my inner corner. This is not a technique that I utilize very often, but for some reason, these shadows are speaking to me in the way of this technique. Also gonna smoke out that black just a little bit. Blend with the gray. Wow, I feel like these eyeshadows are actually really formulated to be working together. I don't see them performing as well if, say, I were to mix in a Huda Beauty eyeshadow or even a Pat McGrath. I feel like these are the types of eyeshadows and the types of pressed pigments that behave well with those of their own kind. Does that make sense? Next, dipping into this highlighter shade. This one has a bit of sparkle. It's kind of a bone shade. So I'm gonna add that to the inner portion here and just kind of diffuse and lighten this whole area. Also gonna add that to the brow bone and then take a bit of this ivory shade here and now add that as a pop. Shall we perhaps add just a little bit of warmth to this whole look? Yes, I think we we should. I'm gonna reach for this brown shade here from the Signature Quad. And I'm gonna add a bit of warmth right here to the outer V. Really just testing these shadows and seeing how well they apply. So far, all of them have applied really well. Why is my skin peeling? Oh yeah, because of all the Halloween stuff. I know these shadows may probably not be everyone's cup of tea, given the fact that they are quads. And in order to really get the full payoff of the colors, you need to spend $54 times 4 to get all of these shades to make it equivalent to a current modern type of an eyeshadow palette with lots of colors. But perhaps there's an audience who just wants a look, but for $54? I wonder. I'm also seeing that although this is well made, you can definitely see a little bit of glue right here between the frame that's holding the pan and the actual metal packaging. So that's not so chic. Just making observations. I like what we have going on the top lid. For this portion here, I think I want to go ahead and dabble. So honestly, probably work best with a finger. I'm going to start with a little bit at a time and just work that in. Wow, super pretty, super easy to apply. You've seen these shadows before. A lot of brands have these types of shadows, from Tarte to Hourglass and LC Cosmetics. This is a popular new formula that's not so new anymore, but it definitely will come in handy. Those beautiful, shimmery, smoky eyes. I'm gonna use this tiny brush here and smooth out that edge here. I'm gonna flick off any of that blue fallout and repeat on the other eye. Glides on really easily, really beautifully. Sticks to the lid, but remember my lid is very well primed with that Fenty eye primer. All right, I'm gonna need just a little bit more black on this side just to seal that in place. Very nice. I'm gonna add just a bit more gray to this inner portion here. Gonna clean off that pencil brush. I'm gonna pick up this blue just to test it out. But this matte blue is really, really pretty. I knew off the bat that the blue palette was one of my favorites. Actually, it does have some pretty wearable blue shades. I can't help it. I'm just packing on more sparkly blue just because it's so pretty. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna stop. Now I gotta test out that Kajal Pencil, so I'm gonna pick up the black one. Oh, I'm glad it doesn't have some type of unique name, just named black. I far prefer that. I'm gonna add a line of smudge right here and right here. I'm gonna smudge that out with the other end, and I'm gonna use the gold shade, or rather the bronze shade. It's named bronze, to line the waterline. This is so pretty. Oh my god. Just gives this eye look such a gilded appearance. One more thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach back into this Tweed Quad. I'm gonna dip into this shade here. This is a beautiful tan shade with some gold flecks. And I'm gonna add just a bit of warmth to my lower lash line. I know the rest of the eye look is very, very cool. I just want to balance it. Take a bit more of that black, run that through the top lash line, very, very close to the lashes. Not creating a wing, just creating some depth. I can't tell you how much I love this pencil liner. So beautiful. And it seems to be the same formula as in the Victoria Beckham Estee Lauder collab. I love those pencils and I love these. All right, cute, cute. She is coming together. I think for the final touch, I definitely want to utilize a bit of that blonde pressed pigment lid luster. Pretty certain I've run out of clean brushes. And just pick up a bit on my pinky and just press that to that inner corner. Wow, that's nice. Wonder if I can use that as a highlight. All right, I'll come back to the lashes in just a minute. Definitely want to test out the lip products. I have 3 lip pencils. I'm gonna choose shade number 4. I'm gonna line my lips slightly and also fill them in. And now for the Bitten lip tint in the shade Bisou. That looks really pretty on the wand, but I really didn't like the way that it swatched. It honestly reminded me of some old blood. And although that sounds vampy and all, I just don't think this is a very flattering shade on me. I don't know, perhaps I need a lot more layers in this to make it look more opaque, but I'm not really feeling this. I feel like this is kind of killing my whole look and the whole vibe. I'm not a huge fan of the color. I definitely like the product and the formula. I think it's unique, but this color stain is just not doing it for me, you guys. So I'm gonna wipe off my lips and I am gonna come back with my completed eye look and with my final verdict. I had to remove that atrocious lip and I just decided to go with liner number 2 all over my lip as a lip color. I quite prefer it to the previous thing that I had going on. I think this actually pulls the look together and it makes it an actual look that's cohesive. I'm also gonna use the Victoria Beckham and Estee Lauder collab mascara that I love till this day. It's one of my favorites. It gives the lashes such such a beautiful inky look. Makes them super black and kind of romantic, almost like you just finished crying. I love this mascara. Please bring it back. Also love the tiny little wand for my Asian lashes. It's a marriage, you guys. And here you have it, the final look. I would say this is a great look to wear for a dinner or perhaps to a party, even to an event if you want a pop of color. Perhaps if you're wearing all black and you just want a little something on your face to throw off the darkness. I quite like the way that it turned out, but now I am ready to deliver my verdict on this Victoria Beckham Beauty first launch. First and foremost, I am going to give them an A for effort. Why? Because I firmly believe that Victoria Beckham has a point of view. It is very sincere and it is very true to who she is. She does not sway away from her color compilations. She knows what works for her, and that is what she delivered with this first launch. I really do like the looks of these palettes if you consider each one its own individual look. The blue one being my favorite just because it swatched and performed the best, although all of them actually performed really great. For $54 a pop, however, I do think that's very, very steep, especially if you're competing in the current makeup market. I mean, for $54, you can get more than a whole Anastasia palette that has 14, 15, 16 colors in one palette. And that is what the current makeup audience is gravitating towards, I'm not gonna lie. However, there's definitely an audience that may live on Park Avenue somewhere that gravitates towards this, something that's a little bit more predictable, something that's easy to put together that you could pull out and put on in your fancy car while your driver takes you to your meeting, or perhaps maybe your makeup artist will do it, I don't know. But that's kind of the sense that I'm getting from this line. It's definitely competing against the Pat McGraths and the Natasha Denonas. However, it's not really providing the same kind of variety of shades as some of those lines. But we shall see. This is the first launch and I think it's actually quite interesting. I will say that I am not a huge fan of this lip tint, lip gel situation that was supposed to look like wine, but that honestly looked like a menstrual cycle, if I'm being perfectly frank with you guys. I didn't like the color. I didn't think it was very flattering. In my opinion, a lip tint should be something that brightens up the face rather than dims it down. I'm probably not going to be using this. This is the one product that I absolutely did not enjoy out of this collection. Everything else performed, behaved, swatched, and looked really good. Very good, actually. I'm a huge fan of these Kajal pencils, and for $26, I would say absolutely pick these up, you guys. These are different from your regular pencil liners, and they are actually rather affordable. So if I were to recommend anything from this line, it would be the Satin Kajal liners. I'm going to continue using them, and I'm going to implement them in whatever look I can. I like the lid lusters as well, but for $36, you can probably get them elsewhere. They're not very unique. They're not something that you haven't seen before, although they do look gorgeous on the lids. If you have the extra bucks to spend, then go ahead and spend them. Those are my 2 cents, you guys. That is my final verdict. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Check out more videos right here. Click on them. Bye, guys.